you guys will enjoy this video. It will be about the top 5 match types or match gimmicks, whichever way you want to call it. I'm going to start off with number 1, which will be the ladder match, or TLC, or Ultimate X, or King of the Mountain match, whichever way. It's the same concept. So with either match, you're climbing up a ladder, you're climbing up a frame, so it's the same type of idea. That's why I put all these together. Some great matches have been Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho, 2001 Royal Rumble, Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy, Raw 2002, the famous TLC WrestleMania 17, awesome match. Hardy versus Edge and Christian, the first tag team ladder match, I believe. No Mercy, I think 1999. Double check that pay-per-view, but I think it's that one. You got the first Money in the Bank ladder match. 6 men, some awesome spots. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, SummerSlam for the custody of Dominic. You remember that storyline? TNA Ultimate X matches. They've brought it down the last couple of years, but originally when they started, they were awesome to watch. With Chris Sabin, Pete Williams, AJ Styles, Suicide, which was Christopher Daniels, did one of the nastiest spots when he fell down off the top. It looked like he broke his neck on one of them. King of the Mountain match, it was still a good idea with the concept where you had to pin them to be able to put the belt up. You have 5 guys, so it was a nice different feel to it. Then you had the cage where they had to stay in for like 2 minutes, I think it was. So it was a nice little twist to it. But these type of matches are always got an excitement and unpredictability, so it's kind of nice seeing those sort of matches. The second match type, Steel Cage or Hell in a Cell. There's no question about these type of matches. They can be brutal, they can be either good or bad with selling, depending on, if it's going to be PG era. If you go back to Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, No Mercy 2002, Triple H versus Undertaker at WrestleMania with HBK, or you got Triple H and Cactus Jack, and then you go to TNA, you had the Lethal Lockdown pay-per-views, which was awesome because it was one concept with a steel cage, and then you had the storylines with it, and it just built up and built up. It made the cage feel important, and they need to kind of re-establish that. The cage is a beast, the cage is a monster. If you're gonna have your head hit on the cage, it's gonna draw blood at some point. So that's selling again. That's what really made them stand out differently to other match types and things like that. Submission matches, I wish they did more of them. They don't really do many submission matches hardly in pro wrestling. They did do like Bret Hart and Stone Cold and all that, but it's something I would love to see more of, especially now with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and just traditional Jiu-Jitsu and Judo stuff. I'd love to see them incorporate more submissions into pro wrestling, so we get a bit more. I know they're doing it a lot with the cruiserweight division now. They're bringing in that technical style, so I'd love to see that develop more into submission matches only. Just have a bit of a different flavour as well. Hardcore matches. I used to love the original hardcore format, 24/7 rule. Sometimes they went into the crowds, into the backstage, into the parking lots, and it was more excitement than what I found with Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules is still good, but it doesn't give you that satisfaction of, okay, this is awesome. It's not that high spots as much as what you did in a hardcore match, and you didn't have that, unpredictability again that you would do in a hardcore match with the 24/7 rule. So again, I would like to see that kind of, even if you change Extreme Rules with that rule at the end, then it may be a bit more interesting. Because it just feels like, what happened with Monster Bar in TNA. It became regular, almost weekly, and it just watered down to what it originally was. We had like Rhino versus Sabu, Abyss, and somebody else in that match, and I can't remember. But you had Abyss in that, and it kind of like Abyss's signature match. Then they took him away from it, and it just didn't feel right. It's like taking the Undertaker away from Hell in a Cell. It don't feel right. It's not the same type of thing. But again, I'd like to see more of the hardcore style back again, not ultra violent like CZW. I don't go that far because the style is just a bit too like out there with stuff, like too much blood. I think can be overdone. You need to have a limitation. Not PG, but not like up there with the blood and stuff. So I think you have to have a boundary as well. So the hardcore rules at the time, there's still some blood and stuff, but you had a boundary there. There's a set limit. Nobody got over like ultra violent where it's just like some guy pouring that blood, and it's really, they weren't really selling any wrestling in those type of styles. and that's where it kind of lets it down and that. You know, in FMW, it's the same thing over in Japan, where like Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, they weren't doing much actual wrestling, just hitting each other with stuff. So it doesn't always look good in the sense of, okay, this is a 5-star wrestling match or just a, you know, backstage brawl. You know, that's what a lot of them feel like sometimes. So I like to see a bit more the hardcore style, still with the wrestling mixed together. Like RVD versus Jeff Hardy, they're doing like technical stuff. Yeah, it was a hardcore match. You know, it took about 10 to 15 minutes before they even used any weapons, which was nice because it built you up for the, it's like, okay, when they're going to hit each other with weapons, you know, it gave you that suspicion of it, you know. But again, that was good. Another one for my 5th one, some of you may remember this, the pure title rules. If you remember back in the early days of Ring of Honor, they had a pure title, which I think was won by CM Punk, if I remember. They had a ruling where you had 3 rope breaks during the match. So it's a 15-20 minute match, you can only use the rope break 3 times. So again, it was interesting. Plus you had the Code of Honor, and it was a nice little different twist to the match. So it had a stipulation there where, you know, if you break it more than 3 times, that's it. I think it was a DQ or something. So, you know, I like to see the pure title rules come back a little bit somewhere. So it's nice. Good matches and definitely worth seeing. God bless.